Powered by fans.
It's a goal! What a goal! It's absolutely world class from Marcus Tunde!
Johnson puts it in the air. Aidan Flynn! Wednesdayites! It's still with Lee Gregory. He's in the box. Tries to screw him. Is it going to be there? Yes! Oh my word! The Wednesday week!
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the episode 399 of the Wednesday week. Now, your eyes aren't deceiving you. Dan hasn't put on a bit of weight. It's me, Ash, hosting tonight. Dan's having a little break, like he always has one. Tonight, I'm joined by Blair, Jon, and Hollie to talk all about Bristol City. How are we doing, ladies and gents?
Great. This is the first time I've been on after a win. Get in. Come on.
It's just how the rota falls, Hollie, obviously.
Yeah.
We don't plan this. Blair, how are we?
Superb.
Don't lie. He's feeling a bit under the weather, everyone. Blair is. He's feeling a bit under the weather. But
I've got a virus of unknown origin, which slowed down the world about 2 years ago. But, yeah.
But you're powering on. Jon, how are we?
Yeah, good. Very happy with that result over the weekend. Does give you a nice buzz, doesn't it, over the weekend, and softens the Monday blues a little bit. So, yeah, happy with that.
It really does. Do you know what? I text every single person in my phone book saying, what are you doing on Saturday night? Not a single person wanted to go out. But when we've won, everyone gets that message.
I'll tell you what, I'll not lie. I wish I didn't go out Saturday
Oh.
So, as always, everyone joining us live, you can put a comment in, ask us a question, tell us your thoughts, and anything Wednesday, well, not even Wednesday related, anything goes. Should we say that? Already now, evening, ladies and gentlemen. That's nice, isn't it?
Good evening.
Good evening. I'll put this one in as well. Look, we've got Up the Champion Wendy's, La Bosch. So that's it. And a bit of A-Up. So we're all good. We're all started. So Bristol City came to S6 on Saturday. Obviously, we're in cracking form after a 2-0 win against Millwall. How are you feeling about the fixture? Because I looked at the fixtures that other teams around us, and they've got pretty hard away fixtures, and we thought we're at home, Bristol City. I know they're a bit of mid-table, aren't they, at the minute? But looking at it, Blair, what was your thoughts on obviously Bristol City coming and your initial fears?
Well, they was on the proverbial beach, aren't they? Bristol. They're not going up. They're not going. Bristol City. They're not going up. They're not going down.
Yeah. Don't say that.
Yeah. I don't want to get smashed like that. Sky Sports. What's it called Sheffield United Sheffield, and she's been absolutely destroyed, hasn't she, on Twitter? Bristol City. They're not going down, not going up. So what they've got nothing to play for. So it's one of those. Sometimes they can be brilliant, and sometimes they can just not be arsed. And I was a bit meh about it. I thought we could win. I was confident we could win. When I saw Millwall had Southampton away, I thought, right, we've got to capitalise on that. And then how they beat Southampton, I'll never know, because they were crap over last week. Really crap. I was skeptical. I didn't know what Bristol City were going to turn up.
Jon, how were your thoughts? You saw obviously Bristol City coming. Initial thoughts about obviously what it was, one of those where I think a lot of us were saying must win. They all are at the minute, aren't they? Got to say.
Yeah, 100%. I think even Danny said it himself, isn't it? It's like before that game, it's like 13 cup finals. So it's the mentality we've got to have now. It's roll up your sleeves time. It's definitely, all hands on deck. But yeah, I thought, I said it on last week's pod, I was confident about the game on Saturday against Bristol City. I did forecast 2-0. It was ended up being 2-1. So, but yeah, I did fancy us to win after coming back off Millwall. Thought it'd get a good performance. Confidence, unchanged team as we'll want to speak about, but I thought, I thought we could do them. I didn't think they offered a lot as the game transpires, and we'll be talking about that. But I was confident of a victory. Like echo what Blair said, we didn't get the results off the pitch elsewhere, which was very frustrating. But it's football, isn't it? Championships, that kind of league, you can never predict it. Bottom teams can beat top teams, and teams you expect to win at home on big, long, unbeaten runs go and cock up and let other teams win. So, but I was confident of the victory, and so it proved. Yeah.
Hollie, how did you feel? Bristol City coming to S6. I know you're always confident.
Well, everybody kept saying, they lost to QPR, but I think they beat Southampton before that. So I think I was less confident than everyone else. I'm on a bit of an emotional roller coaster at the moment. I don't know what to think.
So, as John mentioned earlier, we'll have a look at the starting lineup. So it was an unchanged team from the Millwall game. So I'm led to believe, and please in the comments, I think this is the first time that Danny Rule has kept an unchanged team. Beadle in net, and then there's Valentin, Palmer in Ekwe, Bernard and Johnson. Then a midfield of Poveda, Bannon, Volks and Masaba, and Ugbo up top. The goal machine, Ugbo up top.
Bowen.
Boing, you muppet. Not
Boing.
Bowen. It's Boing. Boing's a bloody head.
That's nice. Look, I've only seen a clip of some lads jump up at Millwall doing it. That's all.
Bowen.
Oh,
I think we should say Bowen. It sounds better.
Bowen. Right, yeah. I don't think that works, mate.
We asked for an Ugbo song, and I feel like that ain't it.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, we need to get that. We need to get that one down. So starting lineup unchanged. What we obviously unchanged. It's great for the team, and obviously Danny Rule has that settled. I'd say it's a settled team now for him. Hollie, what do you think to the start from the game, Bristol City?
I think he's previously depends on how the game's going as to what changes he makes and stuff. I guess he probably thought similarly to us that you sort of don't really know what you're going to get from a middly team, do you? If they're quite inconsistent, which the last two results might say that they are. So we're just going to play to our strengths rather than do whatever. I think he's sort of tried to change based on who we're playing before, and this time he's just right. This is what we're going to do, and then see how they react to it, which worked in our favour, I guess.
Yeah. 100%. That's what I think he's took his time getting there, hasn't he? Thinking instead of reacting to the opposition, I think he's going, look, this is how I want to, or Sheffield Wednesday want to dictate the game. Do you agree with that, Blair? Do you think that that's something that he's looking at now?
Well, I mean, it's weird because a couple of weeks ago, we was all confused how Masaba is just completely just a shell of the player he was in December when he had that great one in December. And Gassama was the shining light for the team. Every time he was the only outlet and really encouraging on the ball, and everyone wanted him to get and everyone just thought, wow, this is the player we've got from PSG, and Masaba's not dealing with the competition. But then he's changed it to sort of suit Masaba more, and with Palmer being on the right hand side of the three now, it gives Valentin the license to use his pace going forward. So.
I think we've struggled when we've had both on, though, haven't we? When we've had both Masaba and Gassama, I don't think that works.
We've got a shite Lampard-Gerrard situation going on here.
I don't know. But, I don't know. They're both young, hungry players.
I don't really like them. They're not Lampard and Gerrard, that's what I'm saying.
They're ours.
Yeah, they are ours. John, I mean, it's good to see Ugbo up front. He looks like he is now the preferred guy. He's the one that's starting. Impressed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we cancelled his loan somewhere else to come to us, didn't he? And his previous record wasn't prolific by any stretch, but so we thought he was a bit of a squad player while we were still rumoured to be going after this 30k a week striker, which never happened, did it? But and also chasing that American that spent more time in Mercury than anywhere else, didn't they? Really, but and that didn't happen either. So we're all kind of thinking, oh well, you know what, we didn't get this striker, and now there's this free agent market. We'll have a look at that. Names like Dwight Gale are getting thrown about. All of a sudden, Ugbo's took up the challenge and said, "You don't need anybody, pal. I'll be that striker." And I think he's scored more goals, hasn't he, in January than other Championship strikers, I believe. And so yeah, he's fitting the mould great. There is the side is about as close as he can get right now to a settled 11, with the exception of maybe Momo Diaby, and dependent on your opponent, because Momo does offer that, you know, that break-up defensive midfielder quality that we might not always get with Volks. He's okay at that as well, but I think Momo, that's his moxie, that's kind of his deal sort of thing. So and working well on the flanks. Going back to what the guys were saying earlier about Gassama and Masaba, you can see we're letting them express themselves on the pitch. They are very attacking players. They will run at players, sometimes too much, and they will lose the ball, but you'll never want to take that aggression out of them, and that will to get forward and put defenders on the back foot, because nobody, as a defender will tell you, they don't like people running at them with pace. It's not what they want. So yeah, I think Ugbo is absolutely on fire at the moment, isn't he? And long may it continue.
Just on the Gassama and Masaba, we've had a Paul McCarthy's put, not sure Windass walks back into the team when fit.
This is the first time there's a proper competition in that position, though, isn't it? So
let's
see how he reacts to that position, reacts to it, because at the moment, Poveda is just fantastic, isn't he?
The thing with Windass is he's great while you've got him, but you've never got him for long. He's like a year 3 games and then he's gone for 6, hasn't it? So it's a reliability issue at times. A good player when we've got him, but how long are you going to have him for? And right now we need everybody. We can't afford, players to come in for a game and then not see him again. And so I agree with Blair. Is Poveda is lovely player to watch. He's got great ball skills, dribbling. I said to my mate, I'd had a few, and I don't even know if it made sense, but I said that it looks like he could change his trousers and telephone box. That player, I don't know what it is. He can just weave around.
He's Superman. He's Superman.
Yeah. It's like space. He can just wriggle out of anything. He's got lovely touch and dribbling ability. He's a joy to watch. You always get that from opposition fans, don't you, when you sign one of their players that they're going to let go on loan or they don't want anymore. He's rubbish, he's this, he's that. But I tell you what, he was a Marcelo Bielsa signing, so that guy knows talent when he sees it. And he's certainly doing the business for us right now.
He is. First goal, Hollie. Seems it was your neck of the woods as well, right in front of you. What do you make of the first goal? I thought it was a well-worked team goal.
We're really good down the side in front of us, and because I haven't got the view that you guys have got, so I can see everything. I saw all the good play and then the cross, but actually, it seemed like a really good cross. But Ugbo still had quite a lot to do once it got to him, because it was behind him, so he still had to take a touch and then hit it with his other foot. So it wasn't that easy of a chance, even though it was decent build-up play. I thought Ugbo did really well, actually. And then celebrated in front of us. Obviously, came to his favourite fans.
Exactly. Scotch 24. Ugbo touch and finish was a thing of beauty. It was a great, like I say, it was a great team goal. And I think the cross came in. It came in a bit fizzed, a bit behind him, so he did have a lot of work to do. But
I'm not convinced any of his other strikers would have scored it.
Ooh.
No, 100% not. The last striker who scored a goal
maybe
that was the area.
I'd go with Fletcher. Oh well, Stephen.
No, I don't think he was. He weren't spinning that quick.
No, it was, and it's great. Obviously, continuing his goal scoring form. It's like John said earlier. He's now the top. Let me get this in English. Is the top scoring January signing in the whole league.
He's nearly our top scorer in February, and he only signed in January. He's had 2 months to catch.
That's wonderfully depressing, isn't it?
It is wonderfully depressing.
January, was he?
Pardon?
We weren't backed in January, weren't we? We had a shit transfer window.
It's not looking so shit now, is it, Blair?
No.
It's not looking too bad with the players that we've signed. I know there's been an interview out. Danny Rule did one in a German newspaper, and it's come out that he wanted a couple more extra players, which I think we could all agree with.
I think every manager says that, doesn't he?
But yeah, he's got to work with what he's got. January's done. That's it. He can only work with what he's got now. We can't go on about him not signing, being backed, or anything like that. So it's a bit of a mute point now. We've got to just back the guys we've got now, and whoever plays.
When was the last time we had an informed striker? Like, you know, and people went, "Oh God, he's good."
Gary Hooper.
Better watch out for him.
Cameron Jones.
Exactly. 8 years. Yeah, Cameron Jones.
Yeah.
It's a position we've struggled, isn't it, over the seasons? Whichever end of the table we're competing at, it has been a bit of a bone of contention, hasn't it? Finding that striker that can get 20 goals and
like,
yeah.
He had a couple more chances as well. To be fair, I really thought he was going to get a hat trick.
Scotch 24's put Gary. I know he's put Medine. he put Gary Marine, which it's Gary Medine.
12 years ago, that wasn't it? Like, in League One.
You are talking some years. After a good 20 minutes, I mean, we went 1-0 ahead. And I felt, I don't know if you can all agree, everyone watching, that I didn't really think Bristol City offered a great deal. I can't
think Beadle making any saves.
He made one save, actual diving save.
Obviously, and then we played one off that line, I think.
Did we clear off line? Oh, I didn't know that. See, I'd had a busy day.
You were ready. You were ready for your night out.
It was a corner, and what are we like at set pieces?
Shite.
Exactly, Blair. Yeah.
Well, I assumed that's why he started playing Ehekwe, because he loves to head a ball.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, it was a great header.
There was no challenge on the header. No challenge on the header.
No challenge, but it was a great header. The amount of times, how many times have we seen a free header go miles wide in a Wednesday shirt? It's a fair play to him getting on target, but
yeah, it was. Go on, John.
Just gonna say, I thought that's the only, like you said, Ash. I thought that was the only threat they posed. Really, was they had quite a few corners in that match. I think I don't know the actual stats, but it seemed like they got a lot of corners in that game.
Yeah, they had a lot of.
Funny you should say that. Funny you should say that, John.
Oh,
there we go.
They had a lot of look. They got down our left hand side quite a lot when Johnson's gone a bit forward, but once they got out there, they didn't do nothing with it. So. Yeah,
they did try some efforts from distance and stuff, and like you said, the shots on target. They only had two, which one will be the header, and one will be the shot that I mentioned that Beadle saved, and then he did very, very little. 15 shots for Wednesday. The possession, he's got 52 for Bristol and 48 for us. Bristol City. I'm gonna have to stop doing that. Sorry. But I didn't feel it was like that at all. I thought we had lion's share. I thought we looked a lot more comfortable on the ball, apart from the last 10 minutes.
I was going to say, it was just that last 10 minutes, wasn't it? We had back 10 for that last 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, it would have been skewed because of having a man off, weren't it? So yeah.
I mean, like we said, the game they covered, they equalised, obviously. Very disappointing, but what I did like to see was it didn't deter us. Did it? That the crowd was still there, which fantastic. 26,000 just over, I think it was, there again. With Bristol City not bringing that many. 15.
Straight after the goal, our fans started cheering again straight away, didn't they? Trying to get back.
Noticed that, really definitely.
Yeah, which it can be said that's not happened that many times this season. No. But I think there must be, obviously, something in the fan base now, even in the still precarious position we're at, that do look like we're Liam's right.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
Liam, 26,000 plus a bunny and a big bear, and that wasn't me and Dan. I mean, we did push on for the second, and obviously Blair, it did come by a great bit of instinct striker play, hang on, Blair, or a lucky, I'm going to stick my head anywhere in front of the ball?
Well, against Huddersfield, the thing is, he's scoring. I spoke to a Blackburn fan yesterday.
Lucky.
Yeah, and he basically think we're going to stay up, and I basically said, like, we've got this informed striker, and he's scoring all the sort of goals Jordan Rhodes scored for you, and then that's why everyone wanted to sign Jordan Rhodes. Because if you look at his 5 goals he scored, it's none of them like pretty. He's not like taking on 4 players and smashing it in top corner. They're all just one-touch finishes. He's just in the right place. He's got that instinct and that poacher. What costs millions and millions of pounds usually to get, and we've got him on loan from a League 2, a League 2 side. So and Cardiff couldn't even use him. It was weird. And against Huddersfield, someone had a shot, and he stuck his foot out and sort of directed it towards their goal. And he did that again against Bristol City. He just flicked his head at it, and it just hit it, and it went in. So fair play.
I think if he don't go for it, the keeper's committed to Johnson's shot, aren't he? So he might have got saved. So his instinct makes the goal, really.
Oh, of course.
It's just instinct. He's brilliant. He's fantastic.
Yeah, I've not seen like a behind the goal shot of Johnson's shot, so I don't know how wide, if it was on target, if it's wide or what. But they say that with defenders, don't they? If you're defending, just get some on it, and if it deflects in and goes in, then obviously
it caught me completely by surprise.
Yeah,
me too. Because Johnson kind of whips it in quite some force on that.
Oh yeah,
cross come shot, and then Ugbo obviously got his head to it, but I was a bit unsighted. So on first glance, I thought it were an own goal, but obviously replay showed that Ugbo just managed to sneak in and get his head on it, and it were a welcome goal, that, because like you said, the crowd had got up for so the crowd.
Put some batteries in yourself, John. What we're going to say? Oh, he's gone. He's done. What we're going to say was like the second goal came
great point, John.
Half time.
Great point.
Yeah, everyone agreed with you, John. Everyone agreed with you.
Comments are going wild for it, and
the second goal came at obviously the best time to score just before the break, and I thought on the balance of play, I don't know if you guys agree, and everyone, as well worth it. I think we were well worth the first half to go in. Agree, Blair? You look a bit yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, no. We deserve to be in front that first half. They're fighting like beavers, as Chris Kamara once famously said. Fair play to him. I think, Danny, what's impressed me most about what this manager has done is just how he's picked them up off their arse, because they were dead and buried, and how he's got them believing and fighting for the badge. Because a lot of people were saying, 15 games ago, but they weren't bothered, they weren't asked for the badge, they're all out of contract at the end of the season, so they don't care. And how he's got them like believing, and Paul Valentin dropping to his knees like Semedo did 12 years ago today against those dirty pigs. It was just brilliant, wasn't it? Just brilliant.
On that point though, like that's what we all wanted. We all wanted, if we're gonna go down, we wanted them to just show that they actually were asked about it, and just not make us look daft that we looked like in the first part of the season. And Valentin dropping to his knees, like it meant that much. He didn't even get the assist, did he? But it was like he went in the build up to play, and even Ugbo has put on Instagram like Uggs is back or something. So obviously he's had a bit of a tough time of it before coming to us. But if that feeling amongst the players is a bit special, you never know.
I imagine, don't get, and this will shock none of you, that I have not played football at any sort of level. But I imagine that any sort of good feeling because we've all seen on the Inside Match Day as well, haven't we? The music is blaring, they've got that, and they just come across that they are all together. I know it's workplace and everyone says all the stuff about footballers, but for an outsider looking in, it does look like Blair said, it does look like Danny Rule has instilled something, a fighting spirit and something that they can grab onto. And all right, then if you lose 4 on the bounce, it does kick it out of you, no doubt. But if you win, like we've won the last 2, we've got a great chance coming up as well of a few games that still look winnable. All right, then maybe Leeds, but we'll get a draw Leeds anyway. But on the point about Valentin, Dan's put evening special mention to Paul Valentin. He's coming for it and bounds, showed his pace at times, coming leaps and bounds. Sorry, my didn't see that. He has. I totally agree, and that's one of the points I wanted to make. I think over the last 4 or 5 games, I think he has been one of the most improved players.
He did an interview, didn't he, where he said that he wasn't enjoying it at start of season for various reasons, not just football. Like he couldn't understand anybody and all kinds of stuff. And if you've listened to the interview, his English is brilliant. He didn't even speak English when he came here. And that he said that the players have been helping him and stuff as well. So he actually made the point that he's enjoying it now where he wasn't before. So
yeah. Paul says learning English clearly means a lot to him. Chance being better week on week. And I totally agree. And I personally thought, and I don't know what you think, that I thought he was going to be one of the players that was going to, once Cisco left, I thought he was going to be one of the ones that went downhill, because he seemed to be a Cisco player, a Cisco signing, and I thought that he'd really struggle. But turns out I know nothing.
He was scapegoat early on, that lad.
Yes,
he got fucking crucified for no reason. I think
I watched him when we played Middlesbrough at home. Watched him in the first half. He was electric.
Yeah, brilliant.
But then he gassed after about 55 minutes, and I think it was a bit of match fitness and everything, but he's working on it. And for me, he's John's gone early with player of the season. Oh, John.
I think it suits him to play like the attacking football. Yeah. It suits him to play like the attacking football. He's like a bit like a baby Johnson, isn't he? Rather than like I think he was under Cisco, because we were so poor, he was doing more defending, and I don't know if that's necessarily where he's best. In the game, the most recent game, the Bristol City game, his attacking was definitely his forte rather than the other bits.
Yeah, he's more like a Spanish Jack Hunt, isn't he?
100%.
Good at going forward, but you don't necessarily expect to be at the back. Yeah, but yeah, he's got to be the most improved player in our ranks right now, Paul Valentin.
Definitely.
When he sets off on those runs, sometimes I wish he'd put his head up a little bit more, because he sets off on these runs and his head's down, and you're like, he's got some good pace, actually, more than I realised. And sometimes you just wanted to look up a bit more, but no, he was great on Saturday, absolutely.
I think that partnership with Palmer and Valentin on that right-hand side, I think that could be, because over the last couple of games, that's looked pretty good. It might be something that, like you said, with Palmer being a lot more defensive mind, that gives Valentin the chance to be the right side of Johnson, if that makes sense. And the way we want to play, instead of being on the left, we've got Johnson, who loves the attacking. On the right, we were a bit more reserved. Well, now we've got both wing backs, if you want to call them, that do like to get forward, and it looks like it is.
When you look at the past couple of let's go past 5 games. Everything comes down our left-hand side, because no one wants to come down our right-hand side, because Valentin's so quick, and then Palmer, when he plays the right-hand side of a free, is so disciplined. So it's like the target in the left-hand side, because Johnson's not as quick as Valentin. I meant Johnson does bomb forward, because he does. He's not as quick to get back.
He's not, but then we'll talk about it. But then you've got Bernard on that left-hand side, haven't you? That is
crazy. Bernard.
It's pretty good.
Swiping at people.
Well, we'll get to that. So obviously we're going in second half. Come out second half. Sorry, 2-1 up. I mean, we'll talk about the yellow card. What did you make to that, John? What did you think to? Obviously, Bernard got a yellow card earlier on, but for the second, it was a yellow card. It was just the fact that it must have gone 5 minutes. And then they had a shot, they had a chance, then the ball went out of play, and then obviously booked him and sent him off.
It were almost comical, because I said it in chat earlier, but it did remind me of the old FIFA game where you could run away from the ref so he couldn't book you. And it was like, you know, I just didn't want the ball to go out of play because I knew as soon as the ball went out of play, there's a stoppage. Bernard was getting sent off because it were a nailed on yellow card, which means that, you know, he's going to go because he's already been booked. But he's committed. Deschamps was, you know, he's fighting for the cause like everybody else. It's good. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a loss, but I think it's only one game, I believe.
Yeah.
Which, you know, so there's some upside to it. I mean, some thought. I think John Pearson on the Wednesday commentary thought the first foul was a red card.
I was about to just mention this. I thought it was that first viewing.
He said
I think
like,
he thought it was. He walked away from the ref to like the other side, so I think he thought it were a red as well. You know, like
what the pullback.
Yeah. But luckily Hiekwe steps inside. And it sort of saves his life, doesn't it? Really, because
I don't recall them kicking up a fuss too much. You know, one or two players on pitch were asking ref, you know, getting in his ear and saying, "Hey, come on, was that not a last man situation?" But I don't recall their manager and that, you know, coming out in his technical area, people like saying anything after the game. But yeah, I think the first one was, some people thought was there a question there about whether it was the last man or not. So fortunately, it didn't go off at that point.
Yeah, Nat says, would it have been a blue one? It'd go yellow.
Well, the scoreboard still had it as yellow, so I would have just kept him on.
Well, it weren't red, was it? Did you see the scoreboard?
Yeah.
It weren't working other week, and that red. Well, I mean, there's no shame in not having a red on a Wednesday thing, is there? But yeah, it came up with a was it like an orangey colour?
Yeah,
orangey colour. It was
just a point on that.
Go on.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I'm going to say something stupid, but I'm going to say ever since we used to concede at me on the 70th minute all the time, and ever since that scoreboard's been crap, and you can't tell what time it is, we haven't lost. We haven't conceded in the 70th minute. It's all part of the master plan, isn't it?
Go on, Holly. What was you going to say?
There's been a lot of appreciation for that ref. We've never had him before. I checked just before coming on. Did some research. Check me out. Never had him before. He's called Thomas Kirk. I've written it down. But apparently, we've never had him. But yeah, he was really good. I know we got someone sent off, but he was really good. There was a few times in the game where something happened and I thought, ooh, but he didn't give it. Like that, it's not really a foul, but it gets given and it sort of ruins it a bit. And a few times players stayed on floor for both teams, like that had normally be given, and it won. And that's right, really. He was quite good.
He did want the play to continue. He did want the game to go on, and I did notice that myself. Thought, fair. And you're right, Holly. We're first, all of us, and first to everyone in the media and podcasts and mates in the pub, always going about the ref, don't we? Every time, and we've had it many times this season. Too many, really. But it's a fair shout to give the ref props for actually letting the game play. And like you say, even though he sent one of our players off, I don't think. I didn't hear
no complaints. That second yellow, no complaints for that. No. Jesus, no.
I think it was more that I think someone's put it in the chat. Yeah, I think it was more that people thought he was getting subbed because I think
that much time had gone by for playing an advantage. You kind of forgot you did the tackle. That's what happened to me.
But I think Danny Rule knew because Diaby was the one that was warming up. He got his stuff off, stripped off, ready. And it looked like he was the one that was going to be subbed on already and I think Masaba came off for it. But then obviously Diaby goes on, board goes up, Masaba off, and then Bernard's walking off, and everyone's like, "What's happening?" He's gone, and then it come up on the scoreboard like orange card. I'm like, "Oh, what the hell's that?"
It's like, can we get him off at pitch before he notices that he's going to send him off? Get him off quick, like shuffle him off, like. But nah. Unfortunately, he had to take his medicine on that one, didn't
he? John said, to be fair, Pearson also didn't know he was sent off, thought he was being subbed.
Yeah, he did.
All of us. We should have just ignored it and just carried on.
That would have been great.
When Jeremy Land that got sent off instead of Michael Antonio once, he got like a few seasons back, weren't it? That was quite funny. But
that one at Newcastle, someone at Newcastle happened at Newcastle as well, didn't it? I can't remember.
Yeah.
So obviously, sorry, Holly, go on. I was
just going to say another thing that happened in that second half. The guy behind me, his little kid needed a wee, and he said, no, you went in first half and we conceded, so you're going to have to hold it till end of game. And he made him not wheel.
Oh!
It worked.
That's it.
No.
I'm all up for all that sort of shenanigans, the stupid, superstitions.
Yeah.
That's it. There we are. Bernard second yellow, the definition of poleaxe from Mr. J. Yeah, I don't think anyone, like I said, had any complaints about it. It was just a bit long that it took for the ref obviously to stop play because he played on it, had to go dead the ball. So it was just a bit. We got Wickham on. Good evening, all. Evening.
Can I also have a word of appreciation for that bit of skill that Poveda did in front of like the bench? You know, sometimes when someone does a skill and crowd goes, ooh, everybody in crowd sort of went, oh, at the same time for that one. That was a bit of a naughty type of skill.
Masaba did one in the exact same position earlier on in the season, one of his first games, and it was one of them that you got, oh, we got a player here. Yeah. And then Poveda's done it, but I was saying I work with a couple of Leeds United fans in my little office, and I'm just thinking, what you have got some sort of team if he's sixth choice in your team to get loaned out.
It's hard.
It's criminal for no wonder is Poveda's smiling. Looks like he's loving playing football.
Don't tell him, Ash. Don't tell him he's any good.
Yeah, he's bloody rubbish. His contract's up in the summer as well, but obviously that's just going to be, for me, just a pipe dream, innit? Because
we've fallen for a loanee again, haven't we?
Yeah. As Twitter always says, when a lone player does something good, don't ever fall in love with a loanee.
Here's a question then. You can only have one of them, Poveda or Ugbo, at the end of the season.
Oh.
Budget's there, you can only afford one.
Oh, are we in League One or are we in the Championship?
Oh, we've stayed up, mate. We've finished 15th. We've finished 15th, mate. We've won next 10 games.
For me, Poveda. For me,
Poveda, yeah. I mean, Poveda's got that Forest.
His ceiling's higher, isn't it, than Ugbo? So,
Hollie?
I really, 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 really love Poveda. I love everything about him. And his little cute smile is just the most adorable thing ever. But those games that we lost at the start of the season, we lost because we didn't have a striker. We still put balls in the box, whether we've got Poveda or not, but we don't put them in the net if we haven't got Ugbo. So I'm going to go for Ugbo.
Leeds friend of mine absolutely loves him, but he's never been given a chance. That's Poveda.
I think that just says a lot about how different the bottom is to the top, doesn't it? That they actually are that much better than us, that they don't need him.
Liam's gone for Poveda all day long. What does anyone else reckon in the comments? Let us know. Poveda or Ugbo in the Championship. So that's Blair's question. I've done a question of the day today, Blair. But I could have saved that for tomorrow.
We'll use that one. But Liam Palmer had a bit of techers and all on Saturday as well.
He did a bit of skill. I mean, I was rolled thinking, oh, here we go. Stevie's going to cream
just for Stevie's sake, you know.
No, Stevie was gutted. Oh, that's all I've thought about Saturday. Having a day out with the family at Harry Potter World, he was, I believe. So, he missed a great win.
He had a magic time, mate.
It was lovely, Blair. Get it in. Well done. Well done. Here we are. John's gone with Ugbo will get 20 next season. Oh.
Yeah, for Norwich, isn't it?
For Norwich.
Or League One.
That's harsh, that is it. So, obviously, yes, a 2-1 win for Sheffield Wednesday against Bristol City, as you've just heard by us, all the gang. So, we'll move on. We'll move on. So, we've covered it. I was going to go on about Poveda and Ugbo and all this, but we've covered it in all the games. I mentioned it earlier, but I said Ugbo is the top scorer in January signing, and I think he will be. Stevie mentioned on the pod last week. I think he made a bold claim that he'll get 10 goals, get double figures, and I think there was quite a lot of people going, "Oof, yeah," but. He's scored another brace. So do you think he is the strike? It's a stupid question because at the minute it looks like, but it does look like the striker that we wanted or needed. Do you feel that, Blair? Do you feel?
Go on.
I was going to say it's weird because, like, same with Bavada and Ugbo, sort of similar situations. Like Cardiff fans weren't having Ugbo because he didn't fit into their system. He probably weren't wanted. Is this fell into that category of player where he's gone to a squad? Even though I can't believe because I thought Cardiff was shite.
He scored four in 20 for Cardiff, so he weren't playing. I don't know how many of them were subs and stuff. So
he might
be a bit harsh, but yeah, four.
And same with Pavade. It's weird how like sometimes some players just fit for certain clubs and certain management styles, and he's come to us. We've clearly. It's weird because we were slagging off the recruitment guys in the summer and in January about like we haven't got any plan and Chansiri don't know what he's doing, all this sort of stuff. But it looks like the data boffins have probably been in there and said like, look, if you get the balls in these sort of areas, this guy will do it, and it's proven right. Same with Pavada. I mean, Pavada was a panic buy signing apparently to a lot of people on the transfer window deadline day. And now we're begging for him to sign forever. Just please stay, never leave ever.
What's he played 5 games? I think is it now.
Yeah, it's just like everyone loves him more than anything, and it's just like
it's football fans, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's why we love football because we're always on the end of our emotions. Like nothing's like measured. It's always like one side or the other, isn't it? It's just.
It's the thing with loan players is it's like them holiday romances, isn't it? They're absolutely great while they last, but you know that realistically it's difficult to continue a minute when you get back off at playing in Manchester.
I think it's just good to see. So obviously both of them, Ugbo and Pavada, it wasn't working out from wherever they were before. It's just good to see them wanting to wear the shirt. They obviously weren't associated with all that crap at the start, so they obviously are actually both of them really, really loving every minute that they get on the pitch. And I think, again, like I am one of those people that shouts shoot at any point when they're where I sit. If we're shooting towards the away end, I shout shoot at any point when they're over the halfway line. And then if it's in front of me, anything around the box, I shout shoot. But at the start of the season, we had people getting into good positions and nothing would have made them shoot. They just couldn't do it. They didn't want to do it. Whereas Ugbo will shoot at all times. And even though he scored 2, he had a few other chances that sort of nearly were as well.
Yeah, I saw a bit of a thing. TW Football on Twitter does all the stats and really analyzes the game. And I think he put something out before the game at Bristol saying that they were weak against dribbling into the area. Bristol City, more goals they've conceded are people dribbling in and doing it that way rather than crosses. And it was just the fact that obviously we scored from a cross, and the other one was just an instinctive head. So it was like I'm all good, all right for people saying about stats and how people. It's football. You just can't legislate. It's all right saying about how people play and set up. And I just think that Pavada, the way he plays, and Ugbo with that instinct, I just think both of them have been a cracking. I'm going to say it. I think January was a cracking bit of business.
Unbelievable, mate. Beadle's got as many clean sheets as Dawson has all season.
Oh, come on. We've got a few weeks without the Dawson bait in here. Come on. And Dan's not even on. It's been a... right. So coming up, we've got a fair few games that... they're all 6-pointers, aren't they? But we've got a certain fixture coming up on Saturday that we're going to talk about in a bit. But first we do... Blair, have you got something to say? We haven't got an agenda as such, but
it's not a rant. It's just more like we've got 2 protests.
You requested to say something tonight, didn't you?
We're double skying next week.
Popcorn emoji.
We're double skying next week. Next week, aren't we? We're on Sky twice, Plymouth and Leeds, and I believe there's 2 protests coming because I want to get maximum exposure. Fair play to them. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they've got planned. I just don't want anything to interrupt this run, what they're going on, what these players are doing at the moment, because they are fighting for their life, fighting for this shirt. And you can slag off the chairman all you want. And I even went on the telly and said, like, I believe he can't turn this around because I don't believe his attitude can change because he always calls out the fans. Like they're my own words. But it is one of those things. It's like, but when you do, if you've got to go down the middle and you have to debate it properly, pros and cons, and everyone said wanted change in that. And you think, if you look at it now, everything is done since that stupid fucking HMRC thing. Oh, everyone put a tenner in and we can pay £100 in whatever. We can pay it off. He's sacked that absolute shower of shit. He's hired a great manager. He's got a great backroom staff in. And Sasha Lenz, by the way, he might have been huge, and he's been making the rounds in the news recently because he's Timo Werner's stepdad. And he's a psychologist, isn't he? So that's all about mentality and that sort of shit. Yeah. And the team's looking well mentally, aren't they? This head of recruitment guy who, even I was thinking, like, what's this guy doing in January? But it turns out knows what he's doing. Like, because he's signed a striker who's now got. He's an informed striker, and if you have an informed striker, you're not going down. And we've got a keeper who's got more clean sheets than as many clean sheets as the keeper we had in the first half of the season. So maybe he does know what he's doing. This head of recruitment guy, and we've heard nothing from the chairman. We've had no stupid statements. So maybe he is changing. I don't know, but let's just try not interrupt the pitch because they are fighting for their lives, and I just want Wednesday to stay up. And then if he sells and somebody sells, I don't care. But I don't, what made me laugh earlier is how someone said, "I am never buying a season ticket again or going again while Chansey is still at the club." And it's like, yeah, but Danny Rose is quite a special manager, and what if he has another good summer transfer window? I mean, we could go, oh, could we get the playoffs? Who knows? So, like, don't say something ludicrous, and don't
cut your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah, and sometimes just take a break off social media and just go, right, it's just a game. It's just a game, lads.
Oh, we can't go with the just a game, man. Can't go with that. I mean, I'm honestly, I don't follow the 1867 that much. I know what they're doing, and I think they have come out and said that they are all about the regime, not the team, and whatever plans they have for their Leeds and I think Plymouth game as well, that it will be all about before the whistle. When the whistle goes, that's it. They'll be fully behind the team, and hopefully nothing goes on to upset her, because I would imagine 99.99999% of Wednesday fans are all about the team and the 3 points, and whatever's going off at the pitch, off the pitch, I say, between 3 o'clock and 10 to 5, it's all about them 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, however many players that are in blue and white. So I'm sure they won't be. I'm sure we are. But like I said, people in the comments have put that protests are protests, isn't it? You don't just stop when there's three points are coming. So.
Well, that's the thing. We don't want to become like the Championship Man United, where every time Man United lose, it's the fucking Glazers' fault.
Yeah, of course.
We just because we start losing again, suddenly the Chansiri out mob start coming out. It's just a bit like I know there is stuff you can moan about, ticket prices and no credit wants to touch and that is right. But Middlesbrough's ticket prices are quite expensive, aren't they? And
I do get why the guys and girls are protesting. I do, and I get why they're doing it at Sky TV matches. But I think it should be every match. And I know that's probably a logistical nightmare for them, for whatever they've got planned to do it every match from now until then. But I think it's right. Some people in the comments have put that it's not just one-off games. Then you should do it all the time. And if you're going to protest. But I can understand.
Danny Roll was walking for a week, wasn't he? He had bad body language. That was what people were saying. Look at his body language.
Well, it's like anything, isn't it? If you protest, it's because you've absolutely had enough and you want a change. It's like them people that protested about fracking. They're not just going to not turn up because they stopped drilling for one day, are they? You know what I mean? So
it's true. So right, you got that off your chest, Blair. You enjoyed that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll. Sorry, I've just read something then. Just put me off then. So we've got Rotherham on Saturday. Hollie, Rotherham games. I know you have been to one or two Rotherham not derbies, because I know on Twitter, Rotherham fans are going to go, "Oh, Chef Wednesday fans, it's not a derby. It's not this. It's not that." What do you feel about a Rotherham game? How do you feel? And I know it's a strange one because of the position we're in. We're obviously second bottom, fighting for 3 points. They are, I'm going to say, done, because I think they are. I think they're 12 points off relegation, and they haven't got nowhere near the sort of squad and manager that we've got to crawl that back. So what do you think to a Rotherham game away as well?
So Rotherham are the first football team to make me cry. Obviously, Wednesday have done it loads of times since then, but Rotherham were the first ever team
Richie
to make me
Barker by
cry.
any chance?
It was, yes.
Yeah. I was just...
That was absolutely the worst thing that's ever happened ever. And but it was, I don't like them for that reason. Separately to any kind of local rivalries, because I'm obviously not from South Yorkshire, so that doesn't affect me like it affects Blair. But I also, for that reason, sort of always class them as a bit of a banana skin team. I'm not that optimistic. But then again, when you look at the table, surely, oh, there you go. Paul agrees with you. Surely, when the season where they got the record for being the worst, they're not even on that many points that they had for that yet. So you do sort of think, surely, and the game when we played them earlier this season, it were a little bit like when you're playing FIFA on the tutorial, because they weren't even really trying to get the ball off of us. It wasn't really like the time we played them before that was really feisty and quite good. I don't even think that they've got the feistiness this season that they normally have. But then again, if any Rotherham fans are listening, that's just one of them where they go, "Oh, well, you say that now, but wait," it all goes.
They fucking hate us. Like, they really hate us. They want to win this match more than any match in their calendar. They hate Wednesday. If they can make Wednesday go down by a little bit, by like 10% by beating us on Saturday, they will want to do that. It's not an easy game at all. And no one tonks Rotherham. Like, Rotherham lose by 1 goal. Like, they don't get beat 4-5.
Like us.
So it's not like they don't fall apart like Wednesday do when they concede. Like, they are. It's going to be. So don't expect like we're going to smash them. It will be. If we do win, it will be by 1 goal, and it won't be pretty.
It'll be interesting if they score first. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, my neighbour who always wears Rotherham shirt no matter what. It's probably wearing one now. If I look through the window, I messaged him today, said honest thoughts about Saturday, and he said, "You win, I disappear till August. We may go 1 up, and then we sit back, concede 3." That was his honest opinion.
I'll tell
I agree with what you're saying. And respectfully, we are the biggest game for Rotherham. That's not Wednesday being, brash or anything like that. As fans, we are their biggest game because we're the biggest club in the region. Have that, pigs. Yes, it's going to be one of those games where if to me, I said it in a couple of pods back, they're already gone for me. If they can pull us down with us, then they will do that happily, and it'll make their season to see us come down with them. Such as their, dislike for us. But yeah, so it's not going to be a particularly pretty game. Having said that, watch us go actually have the best performance there in years and go and win 3-0. Because performances and results under Danny Rule, it wouldn't shock you, would it? The way that we are right now, with the way he's got us playing and stuff. But it's. I did hear as well that they've had a problem with their training ground that got flooded. So they've been training. They've had like 2
all season where they've been playing.
Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? But half of the teams trained at one venue and half of the teams trained at another. There's quite a bit of disarray behind the scenes, apparently. Obviously, you could well understand that looking at where they are in the league and the points total, like Hollie mentioned earlier. So, but if there's one last hurrah for them, it'll be to try and do us, won't it, on Saturday? So we've got to be good there and do the business.
Scott's 24s, but we have a better record away to Rotherham than we have at home.
Yeah.
And we beat them 2-0 earlier, so hopefully...
it's like coming to Wembley for them, isn't it, when they come to Hillsborough? So,
Yeah. We've got Smashing Tom, Rotherham are far better at home. They're just toothless. If they get 1 or 2, I think we will lose.
What's our height? Well, how many have we? What's our most that we've scored in a game this season? Have we haven't hammered anyone?
Three.
Hull City at home.
Oh yeah,
Hull.
I think
in league it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
I don't think. I think
Cardiff Cup maybe.
Cardiff for 4, isn't it? Cardiff.
Cardiff in Cup. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think it was 4. Yeah.
Liam's pretty bullish. 4-1 piece of piss. They can't live with us at the moment. Hey, I like that. I like it. Well, it's got to be honest. It's a game we've got to win.
Yeah, we've got to win. If we don't beat these, everyone's beat these. If we don't beat it,
obviously we know what happened on Saturday. We saw the other results. There was 6 of the bottom 8 teams won.
Yeah, QPR
So
got Leicester on Saturday.
Stoke and Rotherham. Well, this is what I was thinking. The other teams have got Leeds, have got Huddersfield have got Leeds. Sorry, they're at home, and then QPR have got Leicester.
But my father-in-law would say, in respect to Rotherham, he'd say the Jew one. They can't lose them all, can they?
Yeah.
Wow, can it be due 1 in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
From the last comment, and then someone's put Rotherham toothless as a team. Or are you talking about the fans?
Thing is, some of those teams at the top are now doing what we did last season, and they're having a Forest Green moment and losing to all crap teams, and we've already played them, so we can't have that.
Yeah, I know. Southampton.
Southampton at home.
You mentioned Forest Green there. That's exactly the feel it has, isn't it? Even though we're not at the top of the table, we're going to the worst side in the league. We're all but down, and we know we've got to go there and win.
Good point, John.
And it does have that feel about it, doesn't it? Yeah.
If we start like we did in that Huddersfield game where everybody's just shitting themselves, I think that was the downfall of it. Like everyone was panicking that much.
If we'd have got the first goal in Huddersfield, we'd have won that game.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
and we could have beat them 4-0. They could have crumbled like we did, but
I maintain that. I maintain that. Apart from obviously the 12 minutes or whatever it was at Huddersfield was abysmal.
It was stupid. Why Will Volks was on the bench after seeing what he's been doing the past 5 games? Like, you know what I mean? He should have been on.
But part of the thing what Rules had the players doing is he had them doing an intense training session with playing versus them. 2 teams from Wednesday playing each other, and apparently it's had a good effect. And after that Huddersfield game, he got them all in a room, and they all I don't know whether he gave them an absolute bollocking or he put another instructional video on or whatever it was, but whatever he did, both in the in the classroom environment and then on the pitch, has actually galvanised them and actually propelled them into this form that they're in at the minute. So
rage room.
I think
3 wins from 4 after that Huddersfield game. You would have never in a million years said that was going to happen.
No,
8 wins in 16 as well. So
I think it says a lot more about me than thing that I think I'd pay to have Danny Rule shout at me and give me a rollicking. I think I'd enjoy that.
That's a special part of the internet that you've gone on to.
Yeah. I don't think Mrs. Rogers would like that. I'm glad she doesn't listen to this because I don't think Mrs. Rogers would enjoy that one. So I'm going to go prediction time for Rotherham. Obviously, we're all going to say 5-0, but bit of head and heart and all that sort of thing. Go on. I'm going to go alphabetically. So, John, you're first.
Damn. Yeah, despite what I said earlier, I think it will be an awful game. I'm going for a scrappy 1-0 Wednesday, and I'll take it and be happy all day along with that.
Yeah. Blair?
Yeah, 2-1 Wednesday. I do think Rotherham will go ahead. Twitter will have an absolute meltdown, and Wednesday will win.
Matthew Moore's gone 3-0 Wednesday. Danny will have a plan.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Planning rule.
Hollie, what do you...
I think it'll be 1-0 Dominic Iorfa came back in the last game. He's going to go on a mazy run and blam it in.
Never gives the ball away, Hollie.
Never. Exactly.
Scotch 24's gone 2 on Wednesday. Wickerman's gone 2 on Wednesday as well. 1-0 Wednesday from Mad Ward. Like smashing Tom's gone big. Ugbo hat-trick.
Bowen.
That sounds a bit stressful. 3-2.
3-2.
I've got it. I should have starred this one, but it was. I'm gonna think. I should have found it, but there was one said something about where we're sitting in the home end.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll Wednesday fans will.
I'm tempted to go.
If anyone,
I know a lot of Rotherham fans. I'll just camouflage them.
Are you just on this podcast? You are hawking out for a ticket, Hollie. Did you just say if anyone's got a spare ticket? Look at that.
I've got FOMO from last week. Still, I can't cope with it again.
I had FOMO from Millwall. I had FOMO from Millwall. I'm going.
You got a ticket?
Yeah.
You must have a lot of points.
You know, when
I have got a lot of points. That's Forest Green and Plymouth and all them sorts of places for you.
Yeah.
When we play Rotherham away, do the Rotherham Owls still take a coach?
That's the question of the day tomorrow from the socials. That John, thanks for that. I'll use that one. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win Wednesday. 2-0 win Wednesday. So that's the Rotherham preview. Obviously, there will be a Hello from the Other Side coming out with one of the guys from the Rotherham podcast with one of our good selves. So that'll be out sometime this week for more in-depth analysis. So has anyone got any other business?
Yes. So you haven't mentioned the egg drop that we did, Ash, because you're too modest to mention that you started all that. and you set the ball rolling and it went absolutely fantastic. That
was part of any other business, Hollie, actually.
Well,
it was on the agenda.
Go on then.
If you watch. No, I will. I'll say it. Thank you, Hollie. As a lot of people saw on Saturday by the donations that we did our first Easter egg drop for the Children's Hospital and Pact Children's Charities. I put out on Twitter, blown away. I've got to say, it made an old fat man cry. You did Saturday night, and that wasn't the beer. I've got to say, fantastic. We were all there. We had the Easter Bunny and Easter Bear.
Easter Bear, yeah.
Easter Bear. John's asked, who was the rather fetching bunny? John, it was a 15-year-old boy, but hello, that's okay.
John's cancelled. Get off social media.
It was fantastic. Blessed with great weather, and everyone that we met, listeners and not even listeners, just people who wanted to donate. It was great.
It was really good.
It was. The kids loved it. With some of the, I'll start crying and stuff. You don't want to see that, but some of the kids' reactions to the Easter Bunny and the Easter Bear was fantastic, and each and every one of you, whoever donated. From the bottom of my heart, it was fantastic. Thank you very much. And we'll see you at Plymouth and Leeds because we've got a target now. I've got a target in my head. I'm not going to share it, but
what time do you stall open on the Plymouth game?
Well, the Plymouth game, I'll be there from about 5:30, I believe, something like that. But it was great. But yeah,
so well done to you, Ash, for starting that whole thing and being the behind the scenes guy and getting it all organized. And then we all just turned up, but that's all you, the rest of it. And for storing all the eggs without eating them, which is the main thing, really.
Oh.
They're safe. Don't worry. I know I don't look like a guy who's can control himself around chocolate, but yes, it's all right. Sorry, John, what was you going to say?
Just very quickly, there were some very weird and wonderful eggs donated, weren't there? There were dinosaur eggs. There were all sorts of different brands and concoctions, weren't they? It were awesome, really, to see everybody.
What's this Skittles
like and kids loved
fruit
it.
pastels egg all about?
Yeah, Skittles, fruit pastels. We had Milky Bar. We had egg-free eggs. chocolate-free, dairy-free, egg-free eggs.
Egg-free
Yeah,
eggs.
but all that. But yeah, thank you again. And like I said, you see it on our socials. We'll bug you with it all. But it's going really well. Thank you, everyone. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be in the draw for a shirt. So Home or Away Wednesday shirt. So that's that done with. That's a little bit. And
But Ash,
also, 1,000 eggs is the target, isn't it, Ash? 1,000 eggs.
Is it a shirt?
That's the target.
I was going to say, Ash, is it a shirt with A up or is it a shirt with Sirita?
It will be whatever's available in the shop at the time of finishing. And
it's League One.
Cheers, Liam. Thank you very much for the kind words. It's been great, really good. Also, that we have got going as well, we've got our last man standing that you can join as well. So if you're into a bit of picking a team who's going to lose and go out in the first week, like I probably will do, then check out our social medias because that's there. That is also.
How many entries you got for that so far?
I think we're up to 20. We're up to 20 entries. So that's £200. So that's £140 for the winner and £60 for our community fund that we're raising money for. So
does anyone else with the last man standing? This is because I've supported Wednesday all this time.
Sorry, should it be last person standing? Sorry, I need to clear that with you.
Last
well,
player
not really,
standing.
because I always go out straight away. So it's not good for me. Because I've supported Wednesday all this time, I've got a bit of an underdog complex, and I could go for Man City. But what if Luton are due one? Or what if Rotherham actually are going to do it? And I just pick like the crap teams, and I can't help it. Does anyone else, or is everyone else like a proper professional at it?
Nope, never done one in my life. It's all this one. I know you said about me. This one is all Stevie Spencer's idea. This one, so anyone can argue with it.
I know. At least he's managing it. Fuck that.
If you'd have started it a couple of weeks earlier, I'd have picked Southampton to beat Millwall. So that'd have been me gone straight away.
See, underdogs. Go for it.
Exactly. So
Millwall were due one. They were due one.
They were due one.
They were.
Everything's all over our social media, everything. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. We've done over an hour. Dan Fudge will be doing his nutting. It's been a pleasure as always. But thanks, guys, for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.
Bye.
Wake me up before your rugby.